Yes, so I was sitting with God the other day and I realized something. Like he basically was telling me, I was always with you. I've always had my hand over your life, situations that you went through throughout the course of your life. And then 18 years ago, well, this particular situation was 18 years ago, and back then I didn't know Christ the way I know him now. I wasn't doing the right things, like I said, I didn't know him like I know him now. But anyways, 18 years ago, me and this guy, my ex, my kid's father, at the time we were engaged to be married. We had one child together, and we had to move from the state that I was from to go to another state because of his job. He had just got a new job, and basically we had to start over somewhere else. God had been warning me about this guy. He wasn't ordained. We wasn't ordained to be together. He was already doing things that wasn't pleasing, to our relationship. He was just doing a lot of things, and me being me at the time, ignoring things, forgiving him, giving him chances after chances, blah blah blah, just a bunch of stuff I shouldn't have did. But anyways, we moved to that state, and at the time, like I said, we had one child. She was staying with my mother just until we, get established where we was at. So 6 months in to us staying, in our new place, he did something, and I'm not going to get into what he did, but he did something so bad to where I was just like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I already, been through enough with you. This right here, just take the cake. This is just like the icing on the cake. I can't do it. So I left. And as soon as I left and I got back, not even a month in to me going back home, being back home, I got a job. Then a couple of weeks after that, I got a place. Well, I could say a month after that, I got a place. Then a couple weeks after that, I ended up getting a car. Now, in the course of all of this happening, he lost his job. He lost his place. He was walking around the streets of Philly, homeless, with no job, begging for me, begging to come back. And at the time, I wasn't trying to hear it. I was not trying to hear it, because here I am, I'm coming up. I'm finally getting things I'm finally getting my life back on track. And things are working out for me. And it was so quick how it happened. And I never thought about that situation like I did the other day. And I'm like, oh my God. And there were situations throughout my life that were somewhat similar. Like when I left a certain situation, or I moved to another state, things started working for me. You know what I'm saying? Things started working out for me. New opportunities. Things just started working out for me. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, yes, Lord, you always been with me. When you be obedient to the voice of the Lord, finally be obedient to the voice of the Lord and do the things that he tell you to do, things will just work out for you. And sometimes it could be a scary thing when you're used to a certain individual, or when you're used to staying in that state or that city or whatever it is that he's calling you out of. it's hard to let go of certain things. But once you do, and things that do not serve you, situations that do not serve you, when you finally let go, things will start moving for you. You know, things will start happening for you. And God used that situation that happened to me 18 years ago. And at the time, I didn't know all this. At the time, I wasn't walking with Christ like I was now, but I didn't. I'm like, woo, mind blown. Because that situation was, it was just like that. Just the way I explained it, that's how it happened. As soon as I left, it didn't even take me not even 2 months to get myself situated the way that it would normally, it would normally take somebody maybe 6 months to a year to get themselves established, to get themselves situated. But no, as soon as I left that situation, I got me a job. Then like a month or so after that, I got an apartment, and everything just, it was so smooth. It just worked out, just click. I thinking back on that situation, I'm like, oh my God, it really did happen that way. It really was that easy and smooth. The transition was so smooth. I got the job. Then soon after that, I got my place. I was approved for my first place. And then after that, I got a car. I was established. I was good. I wasn't with that person that held me down, that, caused distractions and hurt and pain and all of that. When I was with him, none of that stuff wouldn't have happened like that and the way it did. It wouldn't have happened like that if I was still stuck to him or still with him. But as soon as I left, and I listened to that, I was like, you know what? I can't. No. And I heard that, go home. That voice, go home. I went back home. And guys, I lied to you not. Right after that, I got a job. A good job. Then soon after that, apartment. My very first apartment. Then after that, my car. And it was everything was smooth. It was easy. The transition was so easy. And back